talk about that. Frogger, maybe you want to start by telling us about game one, because that went really bad, really fast for you guys.
Yeah, so I think we played way too passive in game one, and they basically had all the control, and they had the outscaling top lane as well. Like, we basically couldn't handle Jackson. He could always go off to the side lane and just split push. He didn't even have to buy magic resistance because I need to be with the team in mid, so we need to send Shyvana against Jackson. It's not really that favorable. So we just took that away in the other games, and it seemed to work out pretty well.
Wicked, what do you think about that first game? And then, of course, they were banning out both your Aurelia, your beloved Aurelia, and also Renekton, which kind of left you pondering what you should pick.
So I like playing Aurelia and Renekton against Jax, and also like Ryze against Jax, but all of them were banned, and then they picked Jax, so it's a pretty terror matchup.
So you didn't have anything to say about Wicked being banned out?
No, it's like, since he's the one ban, Aurelia, GG.
Anyway, you guys went into game two, of course, very important to reset your minds, and then you thought, when in doubt, just go for the Karthus. Tell us about the pick and ban phase for you guys.
Well, Karthus is pretty OP. It's like, you just free farm in mid, and then you just ultimate, and it's pretty much a free win. But I didn't actually plan on playing Karthus too much. We really wanted to play the 6 and have the stronger split pushers, but we had to change our strategy because of game one. So just like, okay, we can do Ryze Karthus, and it's really, really strong with the Rune Prison and just lay waste on top of that, and nobody can survive that. And we know Forgiven likes to play a 6 AD carry item build with like basically only 6 offensive items. So he's not going to get out of that Rune Prison, and he's going to straight up die, and it worked really well for us in teamfights.
Tell me then your experience, Wicked, in the 2 games then in the end that you guys won a lot better than game one, obviously.
Wait, say that again?
How was your experience in the 2 games that followed in your matchup versus Youngbuck?
Well, my experience was really fun because Ryze against Mundo, I can free farm all day, it's not really a problem. The only problem I had was in the third game, I decided to go in 1v5 at level 1, and I kind of got destroyed.
What happened? Were you tapped out or something? Because it seemed like you weren't looking at all.
Well, I was looking at our beautiful bottom lane and looking what they were doing, and then suddenly I was fighting 5 people.
Tell me about the bottom lane performance, because in the pregame, you guys said, well, or you actually said, basically Forgiven just goes off and farms and then comes back really strong, or lets his team fight 4 versus 5. How much of a threat was he in the series?
I actually think they won game one without really having him as any impact at all. It was basically just them being really strong on, obviously, Yasuo and Jax. And Amazing also played pretty decent, where Forgiven don't usually get to farm up as he wants to, where in game 2 and in game 3 you only saw him be mid, you saw him farm all the time. He doesn't even base for mana and stuff if he's low on mana, so he's going to be pretty weak in the team fights. So they didn't really play to his strengths, I think, and I think we played really well around it in game 2 and 3.
You guys absolutely did, and that means that you'll be in the semifinals tomorrow versus Fnatic. Wicked, first up, how do you think that matchup is going to play out? How strong do you think they are?
Well, I just hope they don't ban Aurelia.
Well, I think they're going to do that right now for sure. Froggen, what do you think about the matchup?
I think it's going to be a more explosive matchup than this. Like, honestly, this was like pretty much just a farm fest. Like, Karthus 6 and stuff, and you just farm all day. Versus Fnatic, I think there's going to be more aggression.
Okay, you guys, Roccat versus Gambit is coming up, of course, as our next game. What do you think that are kind of the strongest, who is the strongest team going into that one, Froggen?
I think we have a pretty good idea from scrims. They're like about even. They both have some new things they want to show off, and they have tried a lot of new stuff. So I think we're in for a treat here.
Wicked?
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I would vote for Rocket winning, but I would definitely say that people should look out for Darren because he does a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of good stuff. Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, of course, as you are in your semifinals. Congratulations, once again, the Alliance in the semifinals. But who's going to be at our semifinalists? We're going to find out, because it's time for Roccat versus Gambit.